In 1957, Susquehanna Road was a narrow country lane in the sparsely settled Fox Chase section of northeast Philadelphia. It was approximately a half-mile in length, linking Pine Road on the west with Veree Road on the east. The southern side of Susquehanna Road was wooded at that time, but the tree cover did not extend beyond a few yards from the road in most places. It quickly gave way to extensive stretches of open field and scrub growth. This provided a perfect habitat for rabbits, muskrats, and other small game. There were no houses on Susquehanna Road itself, but the compound of the Sisters of the Good Shepherd, a religious order which operated a school for wayward girls, adjoined the road on the north. A driveway providing access to this large, multiple-building facility was located about 500 yards west of the intersection of Susquehanna and Veree Roads. Almost directly across the street from the entrance of the Good Shepherd School was a wooded area choked with thick underbrush that was often used by local residents as a place to dump refuse. It was here, at the junction of two well-worn footpaths, that the victim's body was twice discovered during the final week of February 1957. An unidentified Caucasian male, probably aged 4 to 6 years, whose nude body, wrapped in a cheap flannel blanket, was found lying face up inside a large cardboard carton just a few feet from the edge of Susquehanna Road. The body was dry and clean. The boy's arms were carefully folded across his stomach. The finger and toenails had recently been trimmed short and neat. The child was 40 1/2 inches tall and weighed 30 pounds. He had blue eyes, pale skin, and appeared malnourished. His hair was described as medium to light brown or blonde in color. It had been recently cut, very close to the head, in a crude, hurried way, perhaps as a deliberate attempt to conceal the child's identity. Small clumps of cut hair clung to his entire body, suggesting that someone had groomed him while he was unclothed, probably either shortly before or immediately after death. There were many bruises all over the child's body, particularly on the head and face. All of the bruises appeared to have been inflicted at the same time. There were also 7 scars on the body, 3 of which could have resulted from surgical procedures. 2 of these surgical scars were on the chest and groin. They had healed quite well, leaving only a hairline trace. There was also a scar on the boy's left ankle, which looked like a cut-down incision. Such an incision is made to expose a vein so that a needle may be inserted to give an infusion or transfusion. There was a 1½ inch scar on the left side of his chest, and a round, irregular scar on the left elbow. On the chin was an L-shaped scar, 1/4 inch long in each direction. There was no vaccination scar, the boy had been circumcised. There were 3 small moles on the left side of his face, a tiny one below his right ear, 3 small ones on the right side of his chest, and a large one on the right arm 2 inches above the wrist, in line with the little finger. The boy had a full set of baby teeth, and was also slightly buck-toothed. The tonsils had not been removed. The palm of his right hand and the soles of both his small feet were rough skinned and wrinkled in what police called a washerwoman effect, indicating that just before or after death, the one hand and both feet had been submerged in water for an extended period of time. When an ultraviolet light was shown on the boy's left eye, it fluoresced a brilliant blue, suggesting that a special diagnostic dye had been applied, possibly to treat a chronic eye ailment. The cool weather made it difficult to tell how long the child had been dead. It may have been 2 or 3 days, or possibly as long as 2 or 3 weeks. Fingerprints and footprints were obtained for subsequent comparison against hospital birth records and other medical files. Despite an exhaustive search of hospitals in the region, no matching prints were ever found. To this day, the boy's identity remains unknown.